by the last time Sunday rolls around, I think most of the people that are here really don't want it to end, and they don't want to admit that it's Sunday.
That's true.
And one of the great things about how you structure the schedule that I love is that you actually do sometimes have repeat block showings. You have sometimes the features showing again. So oftentimes by Sunday, if you missed one of the times because you were watching something else, you have a second opportunity to see it on Sunday. But on my listing of films, none of those I would have seen on any of the other days or were even really showing, so it's great that we can focus on these. Right. So the first one is The Last Cheer, which is an international, I think, documentary feature film.
Yeah, The Last Cheer is an international documentary. It's with subtitles. It's very interesting about the comfort women in Japan during the war, and it's a very deep film. It's a very deep film.
Yeah, and you make people think. I mean, with the stuff that you're showing, I've always come out of those. I remember last year one documentary, everybody was just silent because it was so introspective on the story that was presented. And I can remember it had to do with Loma Linda University, the hospital, about the type of caregiving. And that was, I connected to them after the festival because I was like, I'm so in love with what you're doing with your care and the story. And they're international with that documentary now. So I see the same things happening with a lot of what you've told us today.
And it's interesting because for some reason Sunday tends to be our documentary day, not because we really decide that up front, it's just the way it falls out. But that's great because people do like documentaries, and we always have a good variety to show.
Right, they're always telling a great story.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
And usually, obviously, it's based on something real, and people can connect to that, so I think that's great. Well, the next one really excites me because it has to do with crime. It's Crime and Punishment.
Yeah, Crime and Punishment is, it was filmed by an Australian filmmaker, and it's to celebrate the 150th anniversary of that novel. For people that are familiar with the literature, with the novel, they will really enjoy this film. It's done very well. It's very intense, very deep.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's another thing going on with the festival. Very deep, introspective films.
Yes.
Which is great. I like it when you can make people think, and that's really what I enjoy a lot about it. So.
Yes. Absolutely.
And then, another special favorite is the university short film block because there's a couple of awards that are around university films.
Right. We give a university award, as we have every year, but the Tropicana has also been kind enough for the last few years to give a Tropicana award. So their staff actually watches the films and they choose that winner, and we don't find out until awards night. Right. So it's great because the university students therefore get two opportunities to win, either from us or from the Tropicana.
Right.
And this year we had some very good entries in that category. So we're excited. I don't think we've even chosen the winner yet, but I'll be interested to see what the Tropicana chooses. There's some great ones there.
Okay, Sunday, the last three films. Mara has a special connection to these three. So Shattered Families is made by a psychiatrist.
Yes, Shattered Families is interesting. I don't really have a connection with it, but I really learned a lot from this film because there was so much I didn't know. It's about the collapse of the American mental health system, and it talks a lot about when they built up all of these mental health institutes over the years, and then later how they've all gone away and there really is no such thing anymore. It's all handled, or should be handled, by the communities. So Steven Seeger, who made this film, it's his attempt to kind of get that message out there, and he really did. When I watched it, it was news to me. I was really, it was a big insight.
All right, so Navajo Math Circles.
Navajo Math Circles is a very interesting film. I actually saw this film at the Arizona International Film Festival and met the filmmakers and invited them to submit, which they did. It's about getting young people very excited about math by trying some very innovative types of classroom, well, it's not even classrooms, exercises and work camps. They're like camps. And so it's kind of an interesting look at trying to make math fun, which a lot of people will argue is impossible, but no, it's a very, very cool film.
And did you mention about the Arizona? You come and found that at the Arizona
International Film Festival, yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were able to talk to them there, which is great. So
which is great. It shows how the collaborating with other film festivals really does help us get films to our festival.
I love that idea about that. And then the last one, which I was really glad to hear about because of who's in it, it's called Not Black Enough.
Right, so Not Black Enough is a film by Tracy Annarella, and she's been a past LiFF family person because she's had short films in the festival. She's won some awards. And this is a film about within the black community itself, some of the class warfare, so to speak, or some of the discrimination within the community for not being black enough. And Vanessa Williams is actually in that film and does some interviews, and there's a lot of other named people that express their experiences as they've grown.
Right, and for me, I mean, just hearing all of the different films that we've discussed, not only are they introspective, do you get insight from them, but it's educational, and then it does highlight a lot of the causes and things that people are going through and experiencing with the documentary type stories and the storylines. And I think that's not being afraid to do that, because I know of some festivals that shy away from things, but what I've always seen is that you have a wide range, broad range of coverage that you do, not only from genres, not only from locations, but also the different type of stories that sometimes not everybody would want to put out there.
Absolutely. I mean, we have had some controversial films over the last years. And again, you have to step back and say, it's about the film, it's about how the film was made, is the film getting the message across?
Right.
You can't stop and say, do I like the message? That's not what it's about. Right. So we have shown some controversial films over the past.
All right, well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk through all of this, because I know over 100 films come on, and trying to pick which ones to talk about, that was a challenge, let's be real.
That's true.
And but I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much for creating this type of festival for people to come. And what I say to the audience is, I highly encourage, if you've never had an opportunity to stop by, you need to take a moment to at least go check out what they have online on their Facebook page. Again, their website is www.laughlinfilmfestival.com. Our organization, Talking the Five and Film and Fashion Futures, will be sharing all of this information along with more as the festival approaches. And thank you so much.
Well, thank you, because you've been part of the LiFF family for a few years, and we
Yes,
appreciate
I have,
that.
and I love it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We really appreciate it. Thank you.